Live?
Yeah.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Monday. This is the last Monday before Christmas and Hanukkah holidays. So I'm sure everybody's got a lot going on. So we really appreciate you showing up today. As always, we bring to you great information and it doesn't take a lot of time. So we know time is valuable, especially right now. But we have a good one today because we also have a new product launch. So that's a big one. So today we're going to discuss men. So a lot of it, I'm going to let Dr. Ryan lead with it. But basically, hormone imbalances in men are often overlooked, right? We think of hormone imbalances.
Talk about our new product, Vitality, too.
Yeah, that's coming. That's what I said, our new product launch.
Awesome.
Hormone imbalances in men are often overlooked. It's more common for a female thing to think of, women having hormonal imbalances. But with men, they can significantly affect your physical health, your mental well-being, and your overall quality of life. And addressing these, addressing hormone imbalances, by that way, is not optional. It is essential for optimal performance and vitality. So today we're going to discuss signs, or the top 5 signs of hormone imbalances in men, typically what causes these hormone imbalances, what can be done, and of course we're going to close out a big chunk of it talking about our Vitality, our men's hormone support supplement that just launched last week. We're super excited about. I know you men are very excited about it, and also you women, you're excited about getting your husbands, boyfriends, significant others on this as well. Okay. So let's go into the 5 signs.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to say all 5 of them first. These are the most common, and then we're going to kind of discuss each one a little bit. So you have low energy levels, you have changes in libido, mood swings or depression, weight changes, and hair loss or changes in hair pattern, right? So when it comes to low energy levels, this is like a persistent fatigue and lack of energy that even after sufficient rest, right? So it's really unexplained. Like, why am I always so tired? I get enough sleep at night. One of those, main causes in men can be hormone imbalances. And then changes in libido, just noticing a change in sex drive or a difficulty achieving or maintaining erections. This can all be linked to low testosterone. It's a major one. Mood swings or depression. I feel like this is not a common one. I mean, I don't think it's common. I don't know about you men out there, or maybe women that maybe see their men experiencing these mood changes, mood swings, and depression, that you don't know that this is actually could be a cause of hormonal imbalances. I mean, irritability, anxiety, depression, all these hormone fluctuations, typically testosterone, cortisol, all those imbalances. And then weight changes, typically gain. So unexplained weight gain. I've been doing the same thing. I've been doing everything right, or whatever. And you all of a sudden start to gain weight predominantly around the midsection. So you gain that belly fat. Difficulty building muscle, right? That's another big one because we know that the testosterone helps us to build muscle. So those could be all indicate changes in your hormones. And then the hair loss or change, thinning, balding, unrelated to genetics. Okay. You have to keep that in mind. Thinning, hair balding can be associated with it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to elaborate on any of those? I know the big one is talking about this. So
yeah, well, I think, look, as we age, we already know this, but our testosterone levels decline. So all of the different things you said, these are the 5 most kind of noticeable things that happen in your life. But when you are a man in your 20s, into your 30s, and then in your 40s and 50s, things start to happen pretty quickly, and then they accelerate even faster, just a lot of times due to our lifestyle. Jumping to the treatment to how to fix things, you would be like lifestyle alterations. You have to deploy lifestyle changes very, very, very abruptly, and you have to do it with a lot of effort, right? There's a lot of things you need to do to correct hormones later in life. Earlier on, of course, there's some things that you should be thinking about, but it's this environmental exposures, it's our lifestyle, it's our alcohol, it's our sleep, it's our work patterns, our sleep patterns, our work schedules. It's all these different things that contribute to it. So when you start to go through these 5 things that Lisa just read off, you're thinking, in my mind, I'm thinking it's a nasty cycle, because a change in libido is not good, because then you increase your stress and anxiety, right? Now you're dealing, and a lot of times men just will not speak up. They will not ask for help. They will not seek help. So now they got a decrease in libido. Now they're feeling like they're just just not even a man, like they're feeling less than a man, right? Mood swings and depression. Now they're just thinking like, I'm not talking about that. That's just, I'm a man. I have to deal with this and I'll deal with it accordingly. But no, it's real. And so you have these extreme swings and anxiety and a lot of different fluctuations in mood. Weight changes. The problem with weight changes is the fact that if you're putting on visceral adipose fat, the big bellies, which most men today have. Most men are putting these bellies on, so they're putting fat around their organs. That's the stuff that has more likelihood. It's the stuff that's aromatizing into estrogen. And so not only are you losing skeletal muscle mass because your body composition is all out of whack, but now you've got this body fat around your organs that is aromatizing into estrogen. So it's actually helping your body produce more estrogen. So therefore, you're getting a lot of the other side effects. So, you're really out of whack. And that cycle gets worse because as you put more weight on and you continue to put more weight on and you don't make corrections and your estrogen levels climb, your testosterone levels decline, you can already see what's happening, right? So it's a vicious cycle, right? And then the hair loss, of course, is secondary to all of these different things. So a lot of that is what's going on. So,
yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So I'm going to pause you right there.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to, first, if you guys don't follow us already, make sure you follow, subscribe, like, leave comments. It helps us, but it also helps you get the information as well. And also we do take questions throughout this at the end, but the questions have to be pertaining to the topic at hand. We do every month do a live Q&A, which will be next week. And that way there's where you can bring all kinds of questions to the table and we'll address them. So today is, again, we'll be answering the questions related to the topic today. So a lot of the things that Dr. Ryan was talking about, the causes of hormonal imbalances in men are also ways to fix it.
Oh, sure.
Right.
Exactly.
So, okay, aging, we can't fix aging. It is what it is. So if you suspect due to your age, maybe your testosterone levels have dropped, seek a doctor, get it tested so you can understand what's going on and be on the correct path. But stress can cause hormonal imbalances. But how can we fix this? We can work on our stress.
Right.
It's very important to work on your stress. And then this goes with you'll see these common things, right, across all health conditions. And stress is a big one. So is poor diet. A diet's high in processed foods, sugar, unhealthy fats. This causes insulin resistance. Insulin resistance disrupts hormone production, right? So you've got to, how do we fix this? We focus on our diet. We eat a clean, healthy, balanced diet, low in processed foods to zero processed foods, low in sugars to zero sugars, high protein, good quality fats. Lack of physical activity causes hormone imbalances. Yeah. What can we do to fix it? We can exercise. And we're talking about lifting weights. Lifting weights and building muscle helps hormone production.
Absolutely.
So a lot of it's not just like, I'm going to start going on a walk. Walks are great. Don't get me wrong. They're extremely healthy. Love my walks. But you need to increase your muscle mass.
Sure.
Okay. So that's really going to help with the hormone production. And then another cause, excess weight or obesity. So even though hormonal imbalances can cause excess weight, even before the hormonal imbalances begin, excess weight or obesity can cause the hormone imbalances. That's even going to further escalate the issue, right? So we need to work on keeping our weight in check. Sleep problems, poor quality sleep, or conditions like sleep apnea, which is very common in men, interfere with production of testosterone and growth hormone. So you need to focus on your sleep. And if you suspect you have sleep apnea, there's the CPAP for it. There's dentists can make that mouth guard that helps with it, but find something that works for you, because if sleep apnea, there's other dangers of it too, but is really affecting your hormone production, let's work on it. Exposure to endocrine disruptors. This is a big one. Chemicals and plastics, we know BPA. So you're going and you're taking your Ziploc Tupperware with your leftovers in it and popping it in the microwave, heating that up, getting those plastics leached into there. BPA, endocrine disruptors, they affect our hormones. So you really need to focus on using glass, right? Materials that do not contain BPA. Of course, there's medical conditions and things that possibly can't. Maybe it's genetic, whatnot, but also just hyperthyroidism, hypothyroidism. Those are very common with thyroid because,
And that's important to mention too, how many different hormones there are. There's a lot of different hormones, but today we're focusing on mostly the sex hormones. We're talking about your testosterone, which men and women both have. We're talking about estrogen levels, which men and women both have. We're talking about progesterone, and men and women both have. Those are your predominant sex hormones.
Right.
But of course, we know there's luteinizing hormone, there's follicle stimulating hormone, so that's LH and FSH. There's DHEA, there's DHT. All these different hormones, they have different metabolic pathways. They're metabolized differently. Different levels can be higher and lower. So being, am I interrupting?
No, because it was just talking about the hypo and hyperthyroidism.
Right, thyroid,
can actually, those are imbalances of your thyroid hormones, but those can cause imbalances in your sex hormones.
And that's kind of where I was going, is that one can be imbalanced slightly or a lot, but it can throw off an entire cascade. It can disrupt a lot. So that's why you have to also be very, very careful with prescription medications. Things can very much affect the 5-alpha reductase inhibitors, for instance, like your finasteride. These are used for prostate lowerings or prostate shrinking. They're going to help you shrink your prostate because men obviously have prostates, most do, unless they've been removed. And, the prostate plays a role. And so unfortunately, these medications though will also have downstream effects. And there's a lot of meds actually that disrupt hormones. But that happens to be one of the more common ones.
Right.
So
it's like step by step addressing each issue, right? If you're on a medication for something that you could possibly get off of that medication due to lifestyle, with improving your lifestyle, that can also in turn, therefore removing the medication because you've bettered your lifestyle can help with your hormones.
And don't forget too, a lot of prescription medications cause nutrient depletions, right? Drug-induced nutrient depletion. Well, also a lot of minerals and vitamins are required for hormone synthesis. So that's another thing that we've talked about in the past. It's not a topic of discussion today, but we talked about amino acids. We talked about the multivitamin. We talked about magnesium, for sure, magnesium. You have all these different vitamins and minerals that are so intricate in the hormone synthesis process. And when you talked about healthy fats and protein, I'm glad you said that. Healthy fats are very important to our diet because that fat is needed for cholesterol synthesis, which is the backbone of hormones. So you really do need to focus on a well-rounded, healthy kind of lifestyle diet, if you will.
Yes. So, we talk a lot about a lot of the causes that are also lifestyle changes that you can do to help prevent or reverse these hormone imbalances. Dr. Ryan did just throw in there a few things about supplements. So obviously we're going to go into our vitality, but I also want you to know still the importance of like your multivitamin, your vitamin D, your magnesium, our super greens with the ashwagandha in it. These are still extremely important and necessary supplements to be taking on a regular basis to make sure we don't have hormone imbalances due to micronutrient deficiencies. You've got to check that box off.
Yeah, and Shilajit is one that's destroyer of conqueror of mountains, destroyer of weakness, but has a lot to do with improving testosterone levels, sperm production, because again, a lot of the micro minerals, so the trace minerals that are found in Shilajit are cofactors and required cofactors in the synthesis of hormone production. So that's the stuff I think you're saying is like how important it is to cover your basics, right? Cover your bases with vitamin and mineral supplementation.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are the formulator of this beautiful product, Vitality, which I know we're getting lots of comments on the bottle too. It is a very sharp bottle.
It's a good looking product.
So Vitality Men's Hormone Support. Okay. First, I'm going to tell you these amazing prices because if you're a member, which most of you, if you've been with LiveGood, you're members because you save money by buying more than one product a month. And again, we're talking about the multivitamin, the vitamin D, the magnesium, the factor 4, all the stuff. So $19.95 for members. And if you're not a member, retail, it's still extremely affordable, $24.94. This is for a 30-day supply. And I know Dr. Ryan did a little test before formulating on himself, so did some pre-blood work, some midway, and just did another round of blood work. We don't have results back yet. But so far, you can talk about it. I mean, your improvement. So
I will.
Tell us all about Vitality.
Yeah, we'll do. Absolutely love the product.
What you chose.
For sure. And if you guys take a look at this, and you're not going to find another product on the market that uses all standardized extracts. Go back to the women's hormonal support product, same thing.
What is that?
Standardized extracts. So for instance, one that's probably very relatable to people is Tongkat Ali, or we have 2% Eureka Hormone. So if you look at the label, it's standardized at 2% of the actual constituent, the bioactive constituent of that herb or plant.
Okay.
These are natural products, and most of these herbs are. So you have to make sure that when you're messing around in the herbal supplement world, that when it's possible to choose a standardized extract, you should, because that's, again, like I just said, that's what you're trying to get. You're trying to get the active component, the constituent out of the plant. So really important. It does drive up cost, but the quality is there. So awesome that we were able to do that. Now, a lot of the ingredients here, guys, we're looking at it from a couple of different perspectives. We're looking at it from men's health. So what does that mean? To me, it means testosterone. Obviously, I think that's a big part of this, right? Now, testosterone has total testosterone and free testosterone. Total testosterone has just is a very, very good and accurate measurement of the total testosterone in your body. Free testosterone is an estimate, but it's the more important one because it's the stuff that's circulating, not bound to a protein, is circulating in your blood, active, bioavailable testosterone. That's the stuff that we really want to focus on. So you will notice that some of these ingredients in here, some will kind of play on the entire hormonal panel. Some will increase just maybe total testosterone, but then like something like a boron increases your free testosterone, right?
Okay.
And that's kind of the stuff that I've noticed when I'll talk about some of my blood work here too. So we've also looked at DHT. So when you're talking about prostate health, so big part of this for me was helping men that deal with prostate issues. It's extremely common. Just so you all know out there, I don't believe that testosterone replacement therapy directly causes prostate cancer. That was something that somehow got brought out. It seems to be completely debunked. So the risk isn't there. They're actually showing for people that had prostatectomies or had prostate cancer at some time, when their libido crashes, they add back in testosterone replacement therapy in low doses, controlled and well measured. So they monitor them frequently, and they're just fine. So for the men out there that,
while you're on that topic, I don't know if you saw that.
I did see prostate. Yeah, he had a prostate removed. Right.
It's still beneficial.
Well, again, that would definitely be with your urologist, right? So you definitely need to be talking to the provider. If you're not getting good, clean answers, maybe get a second opinion on that. But yeah, we're seeing. You can take that out actually. You're seeing a lot of younger docs that are coming to the market. Right, they're practicing a little different, and it seems to be men are getting great results.
Okay.
So for those people that are the testosterone levels, I'm sorry.
No, well, the one you took away was talking
levels,
about the
tests.
What test? Which
I'm going to hit on that, but like test levels vary widely, very, very, very widely. You can be considered low under 300. Some functional medicine doctors would say low under 500. A lot of it's not just your hormone panel, even that's something that you need to have done. So to answer your question, Pinky, right now, hormone panel, just go get a men's hormone panel. I don't know exactly what the provider is going to order. They should have at least all of the sex hormones. They should have your cortisol. They should have thyroid. So
free.
And yeah, of course, you're free testosterone. I feel like
that's a common one that's not.
Yeah, you know what? Make sure you get your free testosterone on there. It's an estimate test, but yeah. Other than that, you just ask for a hormone panel. We do have a suggested panel. If you email us, we can send to you. But here's the thing about hormones, guys, is it's not just about the blood levels. It's subjective. How do you feel? So there should be a full questionnaire about signs, symptoms. How are you feeling? Are you exhibiting any signs? How is your libido? How are all the things that we talked about? How is your energy levels, your stress, your anxiety? The stuff that men don't really address. It needs to be brought up and needs to be talked about. Use me as an example. My testosterone levels, total testosterone, has been low my whole life. And that's another thing. It'd be nice to have hormone markers when you're 18, 25, 30, 35, 40. It'd be great to have that. So you know where your peaks, you know where your optimal levels were when you were younger and producing more testosterone. But it's okay if you don't have all that, but you should still base it on your symptoms. So how do you feel? So like my testosterone levels are kind of low. They've always been that way, but I don't exhibit any of the signs or symptoms. I don't have any complaints in those categories. So therefore, I don't need to go on testosterone replacement therapy, TRT. And when you do start TRT, again, another conversation, not today, that can be a lifelong endeavor. That's typically something that potentially gets into the category of irreversible. Kind of need to stay on, but managed well, it can be. But then you're definitely wanting to make sure that you're blocking some of the estrogen conversion. You definitely want to have all of your stuff dialed in with a good doctor. That is a prescription. That is a whole different course other than what we're talking about today. So, that's something to think about. So my testosterone, well, when we were formulating this product, I said, let's hit the testosterone category. Let's hit the prostate category. Let's hit men's health. Let's make sure we're covering estrogen. Let's make sure we're covering some of the side effects of having a lot of estrogen circulating and picking up some of these side effects. And the lifestyle components, how are we helping people take something that the body needs so that it can start operating at a bit more of an efficient, optimal level. And so that's why you'll notice some of these ingredients when we go through them are there. And I mentioned boron, but you'll also mention, you'll see DIM in there. We have DIM in there in the women's because it helps to improve the metabolism of estrogen. There are multiple estrogens. There's 3 primary estrogens, but estradiol, like you want to maintain a proper metabolism of estrogen. So you'll notice that's in there as well. But free testosterone with the boron was a big thing, right? So when I did my test, this is what I did. I had the formula. I had the samples all in my house. It was June. I took a blood test. Then I started taking a supplement. I got tested again in September. And then I just got tested again last week. That's about 3 months apart each one. Right.
I was going to point that out because you guys have to understand. You got to
give it some time. Give it some time. So my total testosterone went up 20%. I went from like 370 to 420, something around that kind of somewhere around there. That's a big change. It was a big jump. 20% is huge. That's statistically significant. It's a big jump. And don't forget, guys, I'm N of 1, right? Like it's me. It's just me. You guys will have different expectations, different results. Everybody will. There's so many different variables and factors that go into all of this.
Also your lifestyle.
My lifestyle, right? And I really do I've been trying to focus on this more and more. So, and then my free testosterone though went up 60%. So it went from like 60 something to a little over 100, right? So it's a huge freaking jump. Huge jump. And so that's the stuff that I was telling you. That should be like a goal for you guys to know your numbers and work towards improving those numbers because it's never too late. It's never too late. And if you got to go down the path of TRT and you got to go down with the prescription therapy, that's an option too. So just keep that in the back of your mind. And it can have a lot of benefits, guys. Like people like brain fog is one of the biggest things. There was a carpenter friend of mine that's a little bit older, 60s. And he was suffering from anxiety, depression, brain fog. Like seriously, couldn't even get his thoughts right. Extremely skilled carpenter.
I'm glad you mentioned brain fog.
Brain fog is such an important one on the TRT, on the test side of things, because it really interferes with cognition, having low T levels. And then again, that nasty, what do you call it, cycle, but that nasty cycle, the vicious cycle you get stuck in, man, it only goes down and down and down. And men just chalk it up to this. Well, that's part of aging. That's what I am. That's what it is.
Or men think, like you said, men don't go running for help because is it a macho thing?
It could be, of course, macho and ego for sure. Yeah, I think there's a lot of that. And
I feel like women, something's off.
But you'll also notice more emotional fluctuations too, though, when their hormones are out of balance. So at some point, they're going to get a little bit more emotionally fragile and like, I need help. Like, so that's what happened to this guy, man. Right. He did have to go on TRT though. He went on TRT, but it fix it vanished. His anxiety, his depression, the whole thing just kind of went away. Unbelievable. And I know I've heard of that. I listen to a lot, like Lisa, I listen to some docs and podcasts, and I pay attention to everything in that space, in the biohacking and anti-aging space. So it happens. It's for real. And guys, you got to take care of yourself. So that was the philosophy. And I think we really, really, really good job. I think we came out with a great product. It's vegetable capsules. You have the testing, the certificate of analysis on the site. It's clean. It's healthy. They're natural ingredients, standardized. So many benefits. Let me see if there's anything that jumps out.
3 capsules daily with a glass of water. Food, no food, doesn't matter.
No, it can be with or without food. See how you feel on it. B3 does help the body. So the niacin also helps the body make sex and stress-related hormones, right? Okay. So the boron we talked about increases free testosterone. Horny goat weed for estrogen support. We've got the fenugreek. I talked about the saponins. Those are your extracts that are standardized. Helps increase your total T levels. The tribulus is sperm infertility. So we talked about, that's another thing we didn't talk about, but like sperm counts are way, way, way down, man, over the generations. We're seeing so much declining in sperm production and fertility. And 50%, it really is about 50% of fertility cases. Most people think it's the woman.
I was just going to
50% of the cases are men. But so tribulus is good. Don't forget the shilajit with organic sea moss that I mentioned for that reason as well. For sperm.
Someone's asking here, they take the shilajit. Is it okay to take it together?
Yeah, yes. It totally is. It totally is. The tungketa leaves are just a Malaysian ginseng, but it's awesome for testosterone support. Again, standardized to the 2% uric hormone. It does have a benefit. Luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone can help with that. So it can help with increasing testosterone levels through different pathways. The saw palmetto, I did mention that for your prostate. For that is awesome because what happens in the prostate is it converts from testosterone to dihydrotestosterone, DHT, and that DHT is what causes a lot of problems. So it does. The saw palmetto is awesome for for minimizing some of that conversion too. So improving total and free testosterone while also helping with the prostate.
It's not palmetto. That's also good for prostate health.
I was saying that.
Oh, you just
I
said
literally
prostate
was
health.
just
Sorry, I was reading.
literally dialing in
Sorry.
to the prostate thing. That's
I'm
funny.
reading questions.
I think that, I mean, look.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. So I'm happy to help you guys in any way. Please feel free to email me.
Couple questions here though.
Yeah.
So can women take? So Melanie, you're talking about the women's hormonal and men's are very different because the women's hormonal talks about most about our most common sex hormone fluctuations, what has to do with estrogen, progesterone. But can women take this?
Different stages of life call for different things, right? Like, for a menopausal or postmenopausal women, we talked about that a lot in our women's hormonal support product, the importance of them, the importance of some of these other ingredients.
Right.
And, it's a lot about what your response is, like what you're looking for. And without blood work, without knowing anything, these are safe products to take. They're natural ingredients. You're not going to do any harm. There's no harm. Like none of these products come with some contraindication or some major caution or some real risk. They really don't. They're natural products. You could obtain them in the wild, right? Like, so no, it's okay. If a woman wanted to take Vitality, that's fine. I don't know why you specifically would when you have the women's hormonal support product.
Right. I guess if you're feeling like your testosterone is the major player here, but again, you would need to know your numbers.
But the women's hormonal support addresses testosterone too.
Right. Right.
We you know what I mean? That's I was
Right.
trying to help women too because women need testosterone. We recognize that. I 100% agree. All right, what was the next one?
Okay, this is from Rosamila.
Yeah.
How
Okay,
about
so
my
here's an
husband
example.
using the gel for testosterone. Can he use our product as well?
Here's a great example of somebody that's on TRT, so transdermal testosterone gel. So you're probably getting great results with the testosterone, but you may not be getting the absolute optimal results if you're not being well monitored. So you need to know, like, what's your estrogen levels. You need to check your other hormone levels that we just talked about. You need to know all of those things. For some reason, and a lot of guys will start on testosterone therapy and the doctors don't know what they're doing. I've seen this a lot. And so this product would help a lot. The Vitality could help because it could help with your estrogen metabolism. It could help increase your free testosterone. It could help to do some of the things. The saw palmetto certainly can help the prostate. When you take exogenous testosterone, that's TRT. When you take an exogenous testosterone, your prostate, you need some support. I mean, you need to be watching your PSA. PSA is prostate specific antigen. You need to be watching and measuring your hemoglobin, hematocrit. There's all these different things you need to be doing. But this Vitality could help in the example that someone's on TRT and they're not doing everything under close supervision.
Right. I find this interesting question.
One other thing.
Go. Even
if you're on TRT and under close supervision, some of these things work on different pathways in testosterone replacement therapy. Testosterone is just testosterone. Here's the body have testosterone. Some of these other herbs will prompt the body to do things in different ways, like FSH and LH. So I would say yes, Vitality absolutely can be safely taken with people on testosterone.
Okay. So does it help with sleep? So nothing in here is going to help you fall asleep, but improving I guess you're speaking about your husband, improving your hormone levels will help you sleep because a sign of hormonal imbalances is sleep disturbances, insomnia. So yes, in turn, if we can get our numbers where they need to be, they can help. I'm not sure. Everybody had comments of what are we drinking?
Water. I'm just so thirsty. I had a bike ride after my workout.
Yeah.
Kids are home from school, a little bit different schedule. I'm super thirsty.
Okay.
And yes. I had my electrolytes this morning, my creatine,
likewise, and
my aminos. So, and I'm fasting. I don't have any food in my belly yet, so
I've had all that plus E3 plus our protein and greens and collagen. I ate.
Nice. Yeah, nice.
Okay, awesome. I think that's about it. So if there's questions that were not answered, please go ahead and email me, lisa@livegood.com. If it's specifically for something for Dr. Ryan, it's best to email me because I can talk with him about it because some of his emails go very, very, very long because he's got a lot on his plate. So make sure you email me. Make sure you subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Follow us. Join us every Monday at this time. Next Monday is our AUA, which is Ask Us Anything. So all product and health related questions, bring them to the table and we'll answer them live. And I know I just said you can email me these questions too, but I really like the community that we have going here when you ask questions, because it might be a question that somebody else hasn't thought about. So in turn, you're helping everybody, right? Again, this is a community. We're trying to teach, educate, and help others learn and understand. And check out our website for Vitality. If you guys haven't ordered it, I mean, men haven't ordered it or women order it for your men. Great stuff. Yes, have a fantastic week. Merry Christmas. Thank you. Happy holidays. Enjoy your time with your loved ones. And
All right, guys. We'll
Until
see
next
you
time.
back. Yep. We'll see you back here next Monday.
Okay. Bye.
Merry Christmas. Bye, guys.